With Crash Bandicoot and Sonic coming back, is there a way for classic characters to come back? Stay tuned and find out. As I live and breathe.
As you live and as you breathe.
As you breathe?
Breathe. All right, Tenendo.
What's up, guys? We are Improv Gaming here on youtube.com/ImprovGaming. We come to you Tuesday, Thursday with nice little 10 to 15 chunks. And this is Tuesday's episode. And I'm always joined with the best ponytail in the business.
It's fabulous.
It's Mr. Nicholas De Jesus.
How's it going tonight, ladies and gentlemen?
I'm always joined with the best Zelda fan. No. Oh.
Spoilers.
Tattoo.
Spoilers.
Master Sword Pants. Oh, sorry.
I was going to smack you, see if the glitch would knock out of you. But I'm always joined, ladies and gentlemen, with the host with the most, Mr. I'm Wondering himself, with the Kango cap in tow and his aggressively hairy chest.
With the facial hair. Even, our one mutual friend,
Excuse me, sir. I didn't finish introducing you. People have no idea who's speaking right now. It's Mr. Peter Anderson, ladies and gentlemen.
As I live and breathe.
As you live and as you breathe. Now you may proceed, sir.
There's a scroll at the bottom when this video goes, and they'll see my name.
Maybe not.
Maybe you'll just not put it in. So we're talking about...
For sake of my argument, I can do what I want. I am the master editor here, sir.
So we've decided to bring up this topic because, Crash Bandicoot went number one in 2 days of it being on the shelf.
The Insane Trilogy you're talking about, yeah, which is a reboot of, or not a reboot, but a remaster of the original trilogy.
You also have Sonic Mania coming out today.
Right, everybody's hyped up for Mario Odyssey. Mm-hmm. Right, not that Mario's ever really fallen off, but still at the same time, like it's been a while, I would say, since we got a legit Mario game. So the question is, especially. And I want to add this on. They're not characters per se, but the consoles that have been released, the classic versions of all these consoles, have been doing very, very well. Mm-hmm. So can we see a retry at Star Fox where they do something right with it this time? Can we see something with Vector Man in the future? Can we see
Earthworm Jim,
which I doubt would happen, but that would be nice.
I see the next one being Spyro.
Spyro?
I think it's went so well with Crash and with Sonic Mania going back to its 2D realm and it's being that classic vibe and people are going to be jumping all about that. I think the next thing that people are going to say is like, oh, we want a remastered Spyro. We want a remastered Jak and Daxter. Mm-hmm. Ratchet and Clank, great series, has been constant. Jak and Daxter really fell off, So it would be nice for somebody to be like, no, we're going to remake these. It's going to be just as good as you remember, And I feel like Crash Bandicoot set a precedent for this because everybody was like, oh, it's not going to sell that well. And like I said, 2 days in June, and it was number one. Yeah. And it's still going strong. It's only $40, which is perfect for a remaster. It comes with 3 games. I was actually playing Crash Warped over the weekend.
Oh, yeah?
Joe came over. You can check out our Let's Play of Gundam, Enter the Gungeon on twitch.tv/ImprovCap. But it was cool, and I was like, I'm down for this game, and I would like to see more. I would like to get these games that I miss. I wish they would bring back Sam Fisher and Splinter Cell. I know he's coming, but give me something in the meantime. Maybe remaster Chaos Theory, one of my favorite games of all time, or the original Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow. These games where, it's remastered, but it's something where these franchises need to breathe again, or icons need to come back. The Earthworm Jims, these Spyros, all these different characters to be like, no, remember when we were a thing? Now we're better with a better engine, better developer. Well, not better developer, but more experienced
developer that's developing on a new age console. The thing that I would want to see more than a remaster, right? Like to your credit, right? The Crash Bandicoot's doing well. Sonic Mania looks like it's going to be doing well.
Yeah. I bought the collector's edition.
I would like to see reimaginings, right? Like new games, not necessarily remastered games. Like I would like to see Crash in a new environment, something different. for Crash.
With
right?
the success of the Insane Trilogy,
see something like
I
that
could see them
happening.
making a completely new Crash.
But I would like to see the new Crash, right? Like to me, and that's the point that you were just saying, right? There's a lot of people out there that are like, okay, why do I want to play an old game all over again? I'm not part of that fan base that's gonna go crazy over Sonic Mania. That's gonna go crazy over the Insane Trilogy. But I would like to see Crash back.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't mean I don't want to see Crash back. That doesn't mean I don't want to see Sonic do something new and you know and fresh, which is what the Sonic Heroes. Sonic Forces, where you can customize your own Sonic. That's the only part that sold me on that.
Which still baffles the mind.
I'm sorry, it's just something that sold me on it. But to see like a brand new Booger Man, a brand new Vector Man, a brand new Earthworm Jim, you know, like brand new versions of these characters that I kind of like fell in love with before, right? I would love to see Booger Man in 3D, you know, or Vector Man, which was already 3D rendered, in a 3D atmosphere. Like I could see that playing off very well and much better than Knack. You know what I'm saying?
I would like to see Banjo-Kazooie.
No, ukulele didn't do it for you?
No, Nick. No, but Playtonic did a great job with ukulele. Don't get me wrong, but it would be nice if maybe like Rare and Playtonic like made a joint fair and be like, let's make the ultimate Banjo-Kazooie game. You know, do something where it's like, there's beloved Perfect Dark. Mm-hmm. Where's my Perfect Dark?
Yeah.
You know, 007 GoldenEye. Yeah, it was remade for the Nintendo Wii, but just imagine like this. What I loved about the Crash Insane Trilogy is I'm not the biggest Crash fan out there, but it's I think starting a precipice for what's to follow. Where
Precedent.
Thank you, bless you. It's going to start where
precipice is the edge of falling
bless
off.
you again. It's going to show that it's like maybe there is life in these franchises that we once thought might be dead. Because I guarantee you this Activision did not expect Crash to do as well as it's doing.
See, I don't think that these franchises are dead, right? They were killed off before their time, right? We always wanted to see a new Crash, but then PlayStation 3 came along and suddenly we got this new guy, Drake. And
Nathan Drake.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. There was 2 Drakes that came out at the same time. Nobody wanted any of that.
It's like a Dante question.
But it was like, where's Crash though? What's gonna happen with Crash? Mm-hmm. You know, Vector Man. Only 2 games ever made. Still thinking about that to this day. You know, Earthworm Jim. Right, hit the N64, bombed. And we haven't seen it since because nobody wants to touch it with a 10-foot pole for some reason. Mm-hmm. Just because you had one failure doesn't mean... Like, if Devil May Cry stopped at its first failure, we wouldn't have gotten 3, 4, DMC, 5.
No, 5.
DMC.
Yeah, it's 3, 4, and DMC.
3, 4.
Yes.
And DMC.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Good.
All right. You know, but we had success with Ninja Gaiden turning into a 3D platformer or 3D going onto the 3D platform from that 2D to 3D, and it worked out very well. So I don't see why it is that everybody is so afraid of taking these characters to new heights when that's all you do is evolve with your character, right? Mario going strong because Nintendo has utilized him and evolved that character into this land. He used to be the 2D landscape just like the rest of you motherfuckers. But he has evolved, and now he's on a 3D landscape. Now they're doing new things with him, and you know they're evolving him beyond what it is that we've seen him do before. You know?
And I think a lot of these developers have the opportunity. Look at Capcom for a second. They have Devil May Cry, huge franchise for them. Street Fighter, their biggest one. Where's My Beautiful Joe? Mm-hmm. There's an audience there, and I guarantee you if they come...
Where's my Mega Man?
We're indeed like there's these great franchises that could live again if done properly, you know, and it's got to be something where they're just given to the right people. It's like, hey, Blue Point always does the remasters of great classic games. Give Beautiful Joe, give Mega Man. Yeah, we've had the Legacy Collection, but give something where they can make their own game. Look at it where I think it was Blue Point that said, yeah, we'll make our own Crash game. Like, we're down for that. You know, there's passion. Give it to people who are passionate about the game and they'll make wonders with it. I think that if you give a passionate developer who loves the Beautiful Joe universe and says, here you go, make a game, I think it could be a hit, because then it shows the passion, it shows everything great, and it should be like, remember these great games on the PlayStation 2 and GameCube that you've missed? Well, it's back and better than ever.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a time and there's a place, and I think that place is now. Yeah, everybody's talking about the remasters and the remakes and everything, but there's certain things that need to come back when it comes to these classic characters that people fell in love with, and now, because they don't have the Mario tagline, they don't have the Zelda, they don't have the Nathan Drake now, they don't have these Kratos, these eye-popping visuals, they fell to the wayside. Crash survived on the PlayStation 1. It didn't survive on PlayStation 2 because you got Jak and Daxter. After Jak and Daxter couldn't survive on the PlayStation 3, Uncharted did. And Uncharted blew up because it showed Naughty Dog what they could do. And now that gave us something like The Last of Us, which is one, in many people's opinion, one of the best games in the world. I put that against Breath of the Wild because it's just two great games. Mm-hmm. Totally polar opposites, but you wouldn't get there without building. But you have to remember the foundation you came on. And then with Crash, it's showing where the foundation for The Last of Us. Think about it this way, ladies and gentlemen. Crash Bandicoot, the original Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3, came from the same people that made The Last of Us.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So just imagine people that are passionate about a classic game franchise like the Mega Man's, like this, put it in their hands.
No.
Here's
a basic, a very basic, very, very fucking basic way of looking at it, right? Apple has Apple. Microsoft has Windows. McDonald's has Ronald. Disney has.
I thought you were going to say the McRib.
No, Disney has Mickey Mouse. Nintendo has Mario. Kodak still to this day has pictures, right? Stick to something and make it yours, right? Crash Bandicoot could have been Naughty Dog's icon forever and ever, right? Square Enix has Final Fantasy.
That's theirs.
Forever, right? You're always going to associate them with Final Fantasy.
Same thing with Microsoft with Halo.
Yes, but that's Bungie.
And 343.
So,
Microsoft
but that's
as a whole, though.
No. Microsoft has Windows. Did you not hear me the first time?
I know. But
Microsoft has Windows. Windows is by far installed on more computers than they have Xbox 360s and Xbox Ones out in the world.
What about this
in existence? In existence. I'm telling you, all of them. Any console Microsoft has made, they have more Windows units out there. They have more Windows software out there.
So you're saying Windows is better than Apple?
Sure. I don't have an iPhone there, Pete. But, my point being that each of these companies have withstood the test of time, and they also have something that you can readily identify them with. So Naughty Dog has withstood the test of time, right? But what do I associate with it? It depends on what the fuck they put out there, right? Like, I can't say that's their character, that's their icon, that I could always rely on a Crash Bandicoot game. I can always rely on a Final Fantasy game. I always know that there's eventually going to be a fucking Final Fantasy game. You know what I mean? There's always going to be a Final Fantasy game. In one shape or another, there's going to be 3 of them that drop in a 5-year period. So for all these developers to feel like they're excluded from that because of their need for a creative drive, but then where does that get you? That gets you developers that close down, 6 to 7 to 10 to 12, 20 developers that close down every year because you couldn't create a brand. You had no idea how to create a brand, a character, right? Nier Automata, right? Whatever that character's name is, 6 or some shit like that. That could be a brand if you harbor it the right way, if you take care of it the right way, and make sure that it flourishes into what you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? So there's something to be said for having a logo of some kind that will always be associated with your brand. And Naughty Dog doesn't necessarily have that, right? We know them for a lot, but we don't recognize them immediately, right? When you say Jak and Daxter, there's people out there that are going to be surprised that, oh shit, that was a Naughty Dog title. There's nobody out there that's gonna, there's nobody out there that's gonna readily associate all four of those titles with that one developer because they haven't had staying power with, like, I'm always gonna remember that, right? And it reduces confusion by far, right? So from a business perspective, you have to release these titles. You have to release these characters that you're trying to, like, for some reason, distance yourself from. Everybody else in business, period, has associated with something. And the one place that we see a failing organization every year, we see at least fucking like 10 developers shut down, is in the video game industry. And why is that? Nobody has an icon, right? The consoles do. The consoles always have an icon, right? PlayStation always has an icon. Or Sony always has PlayStation. Right? Like, they're always going to have an icon. The console is the icon, right? Nintendo will always have an icon. Mario. It's not even the console that's their icon. They don't have to rely on the Nintendo console because they have Mario. It's one of the, from a business perspective, you have to do it. You have to, right? Have a team dedicated to something. This is why Ubisoft is always working so hard to bring back Assassin's Creed.
I was about to ask, if I said Ubisoft, would you say Assassin's Creed?
I would say, well, no, but they have a lot of other things too. But I would say, yes, Assassin's Creed. They're always working on Assassin's Creed, right? To get Assassin's Creed to be that thing. That's why they're working so hard on it. To make sure that you always associate an assassin with Ubisoft. Because that's their thing that they're going to do.
Because they stab people in the back.
No, they stab people anywhere, Pete. It doesn't matter if it's in the back or in the front. They just don't let you see it coming.
But you will see coming is Thursday's episode.
That was clever.
I was.
That was abnormally clever.
Thursday's episode is Nick's episode. It's all about Gearbox and their new little 1v1 project they're working on. We're also going to talk about how Telltale wants to include Tales of the Borderlands characters in Borderlands 3. So you can check that out all on Thursday's episode. And remember, you can always go back and check out Sunday's live show where we go over the top news stories of the week, new releases, trivia, a whole bunch of stuff. We also I gave you my impressions of Hellblade, which is still fantastic. Loving every moment. Going to Platinum in Nick and make my 11th Platinum. Next to my name is Mayo.
Mm-hmm. Whatever you say. We all know you just want to get rid of that corruption.
Is it?
Yeah.
If you didn't know, we're Improv Gaming. We're on YouTube, so please subscribe if you have not. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Give you a shout out when you follow us on Twitter. For all things gaming, keep it locked on Improv Gaming.
You never worked for them. Ever.
As always,
Game on.